to do, selling for, $30,000 gun permits. He is a criminal. He is a mobster. He's like Mayor Daley, back in the old days, and his criminal son. And he's here muscling America. He's saying, look, police, don't help people till the crime gets so bad they agree to turn their guns in. Really, places like Kennesaw, Georgia said it was a law you had to own a gun, and they had an 89% crime rate drop, the Justice Department admitted, in 1 year. Every state that's put a concealed carry in so people understand they can carry guns. They could already carry them, but you just go through their licensing process to carry it concealed, because under common law, that's illegal. Criminals carry their weapons hidden in common law. That's where all this comes from, folks. So they go, oh, we'll give you a license for something that's illegal. Under common law, open isn't. See, but they hope everybody's ignorant about that. But in the places where they've put them in within 2 years, on average, look these up, 24% drop in violent crime. Home invasions, women jogging, some of the statistics are even greater. That's an average. Police listening are all nodding their heads. They read those crime statistics. But that sure doesn't get pushed in the media, does it? Now, I know the average police. I've talked to a lot of them. People know 10 years ago I was constantly after the police. Now more and more I've talked to so many, I've seen polls. I realize actually most of them actually understand what's happening, because we told them, plus they're on the inside, they see it all coming true. But let me just tell you something. These criminals that run this country, the offshore megabanks that brag they've conquered this country, and I've read you Time Magazine, Economist, Financial Times, I've played video clips off the news. I mean, they're saying it. I've played Congress being told the UN is over our military. I'm getting chills so hard. I am, folks. I'm getting chills so... In fact, if you zoomed in on me, I've got goosebumps right now. I've actually got goosebumps right now, folks. Look, I've got goosebumps. This is so bad. You see that? I've got goosebumps right now.
Eyewitness, mysterious booms return to Wisconsin. Mysterious booms that plagued several towns in Wisconsin earlier this year appear to have returned, with an eyewitness reporting hearing the strange noises repeatedly over a 30-minute period last night. This was a couple of days ago. And of course, back in April, we had the big controversy about the booms that went on for weeks in Clintonville, Baraboo, Montello, and other areas in Wisconsin. They got the USGS in to declare that it was a swarm of earthquakes. Just forget about the fact that the booms actually started before the first earthquake was measured. Forget about the fact that Wisconsin is a geologically inactive area, and the fact that these USGS measured earthquakes were 1.5 on the Richter scale, which would only have been felt by one block of people, when in fact these booms were felt across the whole town. And it all adds up to another conundrum. The residents, of course, at the time didn't believe it. And this is allied to the fact that over the past 2 years, we've had this huge phenomenon on YouTube of people reporting these groaning, trumpet-like sounds coming from the sky. Most of that can be explained by hysteria or simple hoaxes. But these booms have been measured. They've been recorded by sound engineers. Of course, the explanations range from the mundane to the ridiculous, fracking, CO2 sequestration, and of course, secret underground military tunneling, which we know has taken place over the past several decades. So still no closer to getting to the actual truth about what's causing these booms, but it certainly is not mini swarms of earthquakes, because as was documented, these booms happened before it, and now it seems, according to this report, they've returned again. So we'll continue to watch it. Strange noises being reported once again in Wisconsin. What in the world is wrong with American kids? What in the world has happened to the children of America? All over the United States, kids are acting like half-crazed monsters, but most people seem to think this is normal. American kids today are selfish, self-centered, sadistic, cruel, disrespectful, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, incredibly brutal, and possess very little self-control whatsoever. And this article by Michael Snyder basically goes through just the recent examples. Of course, you had the bus monitor a few weeks ago being tormented by the kids. That went viral on YouTube, 8 million hits. You've got kids in this clip featured in this article on a bus torturing a special needs student. And you've also in America now, this started in the UK actually, they called it happy slapping. It's now being exported to America. Kids, gangs of kids, filming on their cell phones, picking out random strangers in the middle of the street to punch in the face. That's their idea of good time now. So basically, we're asking what's wrong with American kids, what's causing all this, you know, what produces the James Holmes of America, the mass shooters. And basically, you can lay the blame, partially at least, at the door of this entertainment industry that kids are hooked on. You know, how many mass shootings did we see in America before Columbine, before the mid to late 90s? And now they happen, what, several times a year? I don't have all the answers, but I know that, you know, when I was a kid, and I guess most people share this experience, you know, I was out in nature, I was out playing football, I was out in the real world. Where are kids today? The average young American spends 10,000 hours playing video games by the age of 21, which is twice the amount of time it takes to earn a bachelor's degree. Total waste of time, you know, in one sense. And what are most of these video games full of? Well, mindless violence. Does that mean that hordes of people who play violent video games are going to go out and kill people en masse? No. But does it desensitize these few deranged individuals that carry out these mass shootings? Does it make them more prepared to go out there and kill? Well, yes, judging by the fact that before video games really got violent in the 90s, most of these mass shootings, I mean, they were virtually non-existent. And again, Anders Breivik, James Holmes, both obsessive gamers, World of Warcraft and all that. But, you know, it's not just video games, it's the movies, it's the music industry. What do we see being pumped out? Violence, nihilism, moral relativism, you know, lack of responsibility, hopelessness. And it's a potent cocktail. It's a dark ecstasy that the elite, through the entertainment system which they own, has been used to enslave our children and entire generation of people and get them hooked on this Babylon system. So, you know, what's the solution? Is it to ban video games, music, movies? No. I mean, what we need is some kind of major cultural renaissance to rescue our culture, because it's in the pits, it's in the sewer. Anyone with a brain can see that. And, you know, it's about wrestling back control over our children's minds and their activities, their day-to-day activities, from the entertainment industry that's got them hooked on this dark ecstasy, this violence, this lack of responsibility, this nihilism. And, you know, it's got to start with the parents, getting them out of the government schools, which thankfully is happening to a greater and greater degree. And, you know, we've just got to have the hope that this is cyclical in nature, because the way it's heading at the moment, with all these recent incidents that are featured in this article, we're really not that far away from a truly decrepit, Clockwork Orange style droog culture and society, you know, with ultra violence as the most seductive drug. So just more examples of that coming out, and we really need to get a hold on it, because the culture at the moment is in the pits. Moving on to global news, actually domestic news, with the election, latest word on the trail, I take it back. This is out of the New York Times. The quotations come back redacted, stripped of colourful metaphors, colloquial language, and anything even mildly provocative. They are sent by email from the Obama headquarters in Chicago to reporters who have interviewed campaign officials under one major condition. The press office has veto power over what statements can be quoted and attributed by name. Most reporters, desperate to pick the brains of the president's top strategists, grudgingly agree. After the interviews, they review their notes, check their tape recorders, and send in the juiciest sound bites for review. The verdict from the campaign, an operation that prides itself on staying consistently on script, is often no. Barack Obama does not approve this message. And this article has been out for 10 days and it's only just getting attention. You know, like it was no big deal. The Obama administration, the White House, and it's the same with the Romney campaign, ordering reporters and telling them what quotes they can and cannot use. Even though the reporters have already got the quotes, they've recorded them, they have to go back to the White House and ask permission just to use the quotes. And then you go on to learn that almost every single mainstream news outlet has agreed to this precondition that they have to get approval from the government before they can run the quotes. So, you know, I guess state-run media is just the norm now. You know, it's good enough for North Korea and China. Why not in America? And as Joseph Farah pointed out, the WorldNet Daily, perhaps the biggest culprits in all this are the actual prostitutes themselves who have agreed to this precondition. And this is what he said about it, quote, "All I can say about these people I once considered colleagues is that I am so ashamed of them. I am mortified. They are humiliating themselves and a vital institution for any free society. It seems the biggest threat to the American tradition of a free and independent press is not government coercion. It's the willing submission of the press to being handled and managed by government and politicians." So there you have it. It's official. State-run media in America with the election 2012. And I mean, half the media is just about, getting press releases from government corporations and blithely reading them out anyway. So why not go the whole hog and just, get permission from the government on what you can and can't say, on what quotes Barack Obama has used. Amazing revelations, and this article's been out for 10 days out of the New York Times, and it's only just getting traction. So state-run media has officially come to America. That's the news for tonight, but stick around because after the break is our interview with George Heminger about TSA agents now in train stations in Southern California as the occupation of America through the TSA continues. Stay tuned.
Have you been to InfoWarsShop.com lately? Express your inner patriot with these brand new InfoWars t-shirts. Say it loud with the InfoWars Bullhorn shirt, or educate the sheeple with the Bill of Rights shirt. Grope the public's mind with the TSA shirt. And with this shirt, you can let the dark side know of the Rebel Alliance's power. All available at InfoWarsShop.com.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at InfoWars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139.
It's Paul Joseph Watson back with InfoWars Nightly News, and I'm delighted to be joined by George Heminger of BusinessTVShow.com. And basically, this is one of the top stories on the Drudge Report as we speak, and it's the story about how while he was traveling through Oceanside Transit Center in Southern California, George spotted TSA inspectors outside there on the platform, and it's just another example of this expanding TSA police state. So we're going to get George on now to give us more details. George, tell us how this came about and what these TSA agents told you, because I understand you actually spoke to them.
Yeah, actually, I own a business here in Encinitas where we help small businesses with video. So I always have my camera on me, and I've been taking the train the last few months down here. Just recently, in the last few weeks, I've been noticing a show of police. These are 9, 10 individuals standing around with their drug-sniffing dogs. And I didn't take video of it at first, but the second time that I saw them, I said, I'm gonna shoot some video, but I'm gonna go talk to them first, find out exactly what they're doing. And they indicated to me that this is a new program. It's an expanding program of TSA. They're just starting to implement it. And I told them I'd like to take a picture of them or take a video of them and he stood back a little bit and said, "There's nothing I can do to stop you, but if we